Hi, very welcome to video number 279, and in this video I'm going to explain a number of characteristics or properties of indifference curves. This is lecture number 18 in a series of lectures on microeconomic theory. The first characteristic of an indifference curve is that an indifference curve is negatively sloped from left to right. In this figure, you see a number of indifference curves. In panel A, the indifference curve is upward slope, and in panel B, it is a horizontal line. In panel C, it is a vertical line, and in panel D, it is negatively sloped. So the panel D represents the true indifference curve. Panel A cannot be an indifference curve because both A and B combination are on the same indifference curve, but B contains more of x1 and more of x and y. So it is not possible that one combination has more of the two commodities and the other combination has less of the two commodities, and their satisfaction level is the same. Similarly, at panel B, B contains more of x, and in panel C, at B, at combination B, the consumer has more of Y and same amount of X. So at both, the utility at B in panel B and C will be much higher than utility at combination A. So it is only the D panel that represents the true indifference curve. You can see all the detail is here. The second property of the indifference curve is that an indifference curve is convex to the origin, and it is convex to the origin because of the diminishing marginal rate of substitution between x and y. If it is a straight line like in panel B, then the marginal rate of technical substitution will be constant, and if it is concave to the origin, then the marginal rate of the marginal rate of substitution will be going to increase. So uh, the only possible and suitable shape of the indifference curve is that it is convex to the origin. I have written a detail for you here. So the in figure 7c shows an indifference curve which is convex to the origin, and that is the true one. Here the consumer is giving up less and less units of y in order to have equal additional units of x. That is, AB is greater than CD is greater than EF of y, for BC is equal to DE is equal to FG of x. Thus, an indifference curve is always convex to the origin because the marginal rate of substitution between the two goods declines. Two indifference curves, this is proper number three. Number three, two indifference curves never intersect each other, or they don't touch each other. If they intersect each other, then it means that one combination of the two goods represent two different level of satisfaction. For example, in panel A, this C is equal to A as well as C is equal to B, where A has much higher utility than B. So it is not possible that C is equal to A at the same time it is also equal to B. Similarly, in this diagram, the I1 touches the I2 indifference curve, and again C represents two different level of satisfaction. One is equal to A and the other one is equal to B, and that is not possible. Therefore, this is absurd because A is preferred to B being on a higher indifference curve I1, since each indifference curve represents a different level of satisfaction. Indifference curve can never intersect at any point. The same reason applies if two indifference curves touch each other at point C in panel B of the figure. The fourth property of indifference curve is the position of the IC. The higher the indifference curve, the higher the level of satisfaction. In this figure, A is on a higher indifference curve, so it will give higher level of satisfaction as compared to N and M, which are at indifference curve I1. Property number 5 of the indifference curves is that in between two indifference curves there can be as many indifference curves, one for every point in the space on the diagram. So, because n indifference curves pass through each line in the budget space, in the commodity space. The sixth property of indifference curve is that the numbers attached to indifference curves like I1, I2, I3, I4 are absolutely arbitrary. Any number can be given to indifference curves. The number can be in the ascending order of 1, 2, 4, 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So numbers don't have any importance in the indifference curve analysis. The property number 7 of indifference curve is that any indifference curve cannot touch either axis. If it touches x-axis as I2 in figure 6 at U, the consumer will be having OM quantity of X and none of Y. Similarly, if indifference curve I2 touches the y-axis at L, the consumer will have only OL of Y and no amount of X. Such curves are in contradiction to the assumption that consumer buys two goods in combination. Property number 8 of indifference curves. This property means that indifference curves are not necessarily parallel to each other, and it means that the Malner rate of substitution of the various indifference curve may not necessarily be the same. It may be different. Property number 9. In reality, indifference curves are like bangles, but as a matter of fact, their effective region is in the form of segment shown in figure 9. This is so because indifference curves are assumed to be negatively sloped and convex to the origin. So in this figure, the hard lines represent the true indifference curves and the dotted line are not representing the true indifference curve. An individual can move to the higher indifference curves I2 and I3 until he reaches the saturation point S, where his or her utility is the maximum. If the consumer increases his consumption beyond X or Y, total utility will fall. If he increases his consumption of X so as to reach the dotted portion of the I3 curve horizontally from point S, he gets negative utility. Similarly, if to compensate himself for this loss of utility, he increases the consumption of Y, he may be again on the dotted portion of the curve vertically from point S. Thus, the consumer may be on the concave portion of the circular curve. Since by moving to the dotted portion he gets negative utility, the effective region of circular curve will be the convex portion. So, this is the relevant portion of the indifference curve, in which indifference curves are negatively sloped and they are convex to the origin. Property number 10 of the indifference curve is that n indifference curves cannot be a thick line. This is so because then at a particular position there could be two combinations of X and Y, where one combination represents high amount of satisfaction at this point as compared to satisfaction level at this point, because this point is at a lower position as compared to this point. So it cannot be a thick line. Ladies and gentlemen, these are 10 properties of indifference curve. Usually in the books, in the conventional books on microeconomic theory, we usually see that there are only three properties or characteristics of indifference curves. That is, indifference curves are negatively sloped, they are convex to the origin, and they are not intersecting to each other. But in fact, there are some other properties which I mentioned in this lecture. I hope you found this lecture informative and useful. If you like this video, kindly gives us a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel by hitting this red button, and do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you can get timely notification about other videos that will be uploaded for you soon. I would like you to share, like, and give comments in the comment section, and share this with your friends, with your colleagues, with your students, so that some other people can also get benefit.